Hi everyone, I'm meteorologist Rusty McCranie and welcome to Weather Express. It's your weather in 5 minutes. Start the clock. Friends, we've got a massive heat dome building in through the eastern 2/3 of the United States, and around that heat dome we're going to have more strong and severe storms developing. Take a look at your current temperatures here from the southern plains all the way into the southern Great Lakes, the southeast and mid-Atlantic states. A lot of mid-upper 90s, even some triple-digit heat. We do have some much cooler weather here with an area of low pressure moving out of the Pacific Northwest and into big sky country. You have some 30s, 40s, and 50s in places like Idaho and Montana today. And then along this boundary is where we're going to get the severe storms late on this Sunday for a lot of the Dakotas, Minnesota, Wisconsin, and the UP of Michigan. When we look at the overall advisories, look at all of this orange in the map. Those are all heat advisories. All of the Great Lakes, the Midwest, Mid-South, Ohio Valley, Northeast New England, most of the Mid-Atlantic states, just to kind of give you a flavor, what's it going to really be like in Ohio? Well, how about it feels like temperature up to 103? And you're going to get a lot of areas here where the feels like temperature will be between 105 and 110. So excessive heat is going to be the name of the story here where we're not getting the storms. Now, where are those storms going to get fired up again today? Well, eastern sides of Montana, North Dakota, Minnesota, from Minneapolis north, the northern sides of northern sides of Wisconsin, and the UP of Michigan. These are the areas that I expect to have the most active weather for today. When we look at the Storm Prediction Center risk of severe storms, they'll develop here and then back build their way through Nebraska, the western sides of Kansas, and even to the Oklahoma and Texas panhandles as we get deep into Sunday, even the evening and the overnight hours. There'll be a secondary area, some potentially moderate severe storms, if you will, for portions of the Northeast, including New York, Philadelphia, the eastern side of Pennsylvania in general, and portions of New Jersey and the Delmarva Peninsula as well. So again, back over to the storms that are currently out there right now. These will just continue to kind of evolve coming out of the higher plains here in the eastern sides of Wyoming and Colorado. So when we look at the watches that are into play, you do have two different watches right now, but this is going to probably fill in late tonight. So you have a very small severe thunderstorm watch here. It's mainly for the western sides of Nebraska. Then you do have a tornado watch for the eastern sides of North Dakota and northern sides of Minnesota, and that does include 2.5-inch size hail and some 70-mile-an-hour winds. Back over to the northeast, you want to talk about some temperatures that are hot right now. How about the Hartford, Connecticut area in the lower 90s for a daytime high? Few scattered showers and storms there. You want more prolific storms this time of the year? You get back to the south. Pretty nasty storms developing across I-4 here in the peninsula of Florida and working its way towards I-75. So Orlando, Tampa, St. Pete areas, even back building towards portions of the Miami, Fort Lauderdale area. It's going to get wet and stormy there. You know, one of the other big stories here in the plains is going to continue to be the breeze and the opportunity for elevated fire threats. So look at the wind gusts here, 40, 50 miles an hour in a lot of locations. And then again, back into the northwest here, when I bring back on the enhanced satellite imagery, you'll see that spin right over Idaho and the western sides of Montana. A little bit cooler air will be driving into portions of Washington State and Oregon. But generally speaking, it's just going to be really comfortable conditions here. Certainly not nearly as hot as what we've had. All right, we do have our first invest, by the way, of the Atlantic hurricane season, but that one's moving east to Bermuda. Not going to be a problem for the United States. So let's get into our models. I'm going to bring up the HRRR model here, or the high resolution rapid refresh, put this into motion for you guys. And again, we'll watch how the storms will evolve. Now, generally speaking, again, these are going to take high north latitude tracks simply because they have to go over this big dome, this ridge, this area of high pressure. So we're going to continue to see these storms most prolific in the Great Lakes, the northern and central plains that'll be kind of spinning around that area to the north and getting back into portions of the northeast. Now, this time of the year, you know you're going to get the scattered thunderstorms developing in the southeast, and I can't rule out some of these storms being intense, but they're not going to be organized severe storms for Florida, Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi in the coming days. Could see a few more storms developing here. We're going to be pulling in more moisture from western sides of Mexico, the drier air there, but even in tapping into some of the Pacific moisture, and that should spell a little bit more showers and storms for places like New Mexico and the west sides of Texas. Going to expect a few more showers to move back into portions of the Pacific Northwest in the coming days, but nothing organized there. So these are the risks for severe storms for your Monday. And it looks like this. And it's the areas that you saw the HRRR model painting on. The northern sides of Kansas, Iowa, portions of Wisconsin, and into Michigan as well. So from the Wichita area Des Moines, just north of Chicago, Green Bay, Milwaukee included in that, north of Saginaw, slight, but even some marginal risks there. And then for your Tuesday, we kind of redevelop more storms out in the eastern sides of Wyoming and Colorado and push them right across the plains into the southern side of the Great Lakes, the Ohio River Valley, and into the northeast. Again, general thunderstorms out to the south and to the east. Your quietest weather over the next few days is going to be out west. Friends, I'm out of time. Thanks for making Weather Express a part of your daily routine. Let me know in the comment section below where you're viewing from. I appreciate you guys hitting that like button and subscribing. Have a great rest of your day. I'm back tomorrow with your latest 5-minute forecast.